nightmare scares, and dreams always inspires. Have you ever had a dream which has changed your perspective, your direction, and your goals? I still remember that dream vividly, even though it was 7 years ago. It has been a long, tiring day. I put down my small 4 years old daughter to the bed and I also knocked off, totally exhausted. After some time, I heard my parents crying. I went out. I saw some people and some relatives, they were mourning and grieving over someone's death. I turned around. I looked my husband, Anuj. He was looking devastated. But for whom? What was happening there? Then I turned around. I look, my little 4-year-old daughter, she was sitting near a dead body. She was trying to unveil that white shroud. I felt horrific. I ran towards her. I wanted to pull her back from that dead body, but I could not. I ran towards my parents, my husband, and I screamed so loudly, "What is happening here? Why is my girl allowed to sit near a dead body? Whose body is that?" But no response. It was like they were not able to listen me, not able to hear me, even not able to feel my presence there. I wanted to wipe out their tears, but I could not. I never felt this much helpless and suffocated in my life ever before. With curiosity in my heart, I walked towards that dead body, and cover was lifted. I got stunned to see the face of that body. That was me. It was my body, and I was lying down under that white shroud. It felt so terrible. And then I heard some relatives and some people, they were grumbling about the last rituals of my death. And some of them were desperately waiting to get rid of my body and they wanted to leave that mourning place. I felt stunned and astounded by their behavior. Maybe that's the reality of life. With a heavy heart, with tears in my eyes, I walked out from my house, and then near the entrance, I saw an old lady. She was crying and sobbing. I went nearby. I tried to recognize her. Yeah, I know her. She was that old granny which used to live in my granny's village. And as 10 years old me, I served her with food and medicine when she was sick. She was abandoned by her children all alone in her house. But I hadn't met her since years. Why she was crying for me? Then I saw my husband performed all the last rituals of my death in my dream, and I witnessed my own funeral. And the alarm rang up. I woke up with anxiety and stress. I looked around. My daughter was sleeping. My husband was sleeping nearby. I touched them. I could feel them. I was so happy. That was a nightmare. That was not the reality. I'm not dead. I'm alive. But that dream was so real and so detailed that whole day I reflected back and I tried to think if And I realized that if something happens to me, I will get remembered by only three groups of people: my immediate family, might be some relatives, and third, that old lady whose life I may have touched. That's it. I grew up in a very protective Orthodox family. My parents were always there to protect me. From choosing my clothes to my career, even my husband. Yes, you might have heard about the arranged marriages in India. Yes, that was solely their decision. On my first date, I got engaged. On my second date, I got married. And I always call it a strange arranged marriage. As a young and shy and introvert girl, I always standed up to curl inside my cocoon. Feeling down and fearful from time to time was a normal routine of my life. And reason was that phobia, the fear from strangers that was so deep in my heart that never allowed me to feel the beauty of pure human connections. As Trisha has shared in a write up that she wants to leave the legacy of love on people's heart. After that nightmare, I also realized that I also want to leave legacy on people's heart as an advocate of human connections. I want to touch more and more life before I die. I want to unlock potential in people's life. It might be possible and easy for someone, but a girl like me, shy and timid, it was a tough task. I realized when I reflected, there were some barriers who were stopping me to connect with peoples and suppressing my abilities and my potential. And the number one fear, the barrier was fear. And for me, the fear is like an overprotective parents and spouse. They always guide me what should I do and what I should not do. That is not because they don't want me to be the successful, but they always want to me to stay safe and secure. My parents never realized that unintentionally, unconsciously, and unknowingly, but successfully, they raised a xenophobic girl. A girl who was always fearful of anything out of her comfort zone. That dream and that self realization provoked me to mingle around with the people and wave off this fear, the phobia, the xenophobia. I was trying my best to mingle around. At the moment, my husband got a job offer from Malaysia and we migrated here from India. And I was not ready for this change. I found myself in a completely different world. New place, new people, new environment. It reminds me about a movie, Finding Nemo. As his dad was desperately trying to find Nemo in this vast ocean. It was so new for Nemo. Similarly, I was trying to find myself. I was trying to find Rashmi in this vast, multicultural, multilingual, and multiracial Malaysia. I was afraid to connect and communicate with people because of fear of being judged, because of my poor English and my language barriers. Then came my Dory, my husband, my soulmate. He understood my problem, and that was the moment he introduced Toastmasters to my life. And as we all know, this is the safest place and non-judgmental tool to improve your communication skills. Gradually, I learned how to connect and communicate with the beautiful human beings of Malaysia. Slowly, slowly, I was overcoming my fear of public speaking and I was encouraged to take part in contests. I hesitated, but I did it anyway. I did not win trophies, but I won over my fear of failure. And soon after that, I started winning trophies. I was invited to be the MC of annual conference in front of 300 audience. As I was just getting comfortable being on the stage, mingle around with the strangers, and I was in love with that new me. COVID showed up. Now I had to start this all over again on this virtual platform. But I was ready for it, even though I didn't had any clue about Zoom and online platform. I went around the globe virtually. I got to know the people. I learned from them, and then I organized some district events like a speak series and virtual summit. With having only one feeling in my heart, that was one desire in my heart to connect more and more people and to establish pure human connections, which might eventually lead me to help me to unlock my potential. Understand that the fear was stopping me to move forward to my dreams and my goals. And learning to overcome my fear and facing it helped me to unlock my potential. So, number one key of unlocking your potential, find your fear, face your fear, and smash it. There was second barrier in Rashmi's life. That was my perception about the mistakes. Perception plays a big role in the way we look at our mistakes and what we are learning from it. And biggest mistake of my life was to getting afraid from the people of my surrounding without knowing anything about them. And I lived life like a xenophobic girl nearly for 30 years. I was afraid of making mistakes, fear of being judged by others for my poor English, my grammar, my slang, my accent that was so dominant in my brain that always pulled me back to my comfort zone. But when I decided to take charge of my mistakes, things changed. And I believe that mistakes have that power to turn you better than you were before. I feel the same thing for me now. So, key number two, accept that we cannot change the past, but we can learn from our mistakes and we can move forward. The third barrier of Rashmi's life, and it is happens in others' life as well, the doubt. Doubt on ourselves and doubt on others is equally dangerous. This is the first keynote speech of my life, and it's 1:45 a.m. in Malaysia. Few moments ago, my husband came to me and he said, I love you, Rashmi. You can do this. I believe in you. And then I went in front of the mirror and said, repeat those words to me. I love you, Rashmi. I believe in you and you can do this. When was the last time you did not doubt yourself? When we do not believe us, how can we expect others to have faith in us? And the irony is that our problem is that as a human beings, we always doubt the positive things. We never doubt the negative one because we are always very firm about the negative things. Let me tell you how. We easily doubt when someone tells the truth, we doubt. When someone tells lie, we believe. We are very firm about that. When someone expresses love, I love you, the doubt creeps in. And when someone says they hate me, we believe. We doubt our capabilities, we doubt our strength, we doubt ourselves, we doubt others. And that is the biggest barrier in creating human connections. We need to understand that as food, water, air are the basic survival needs of human being. Similarly, the human connections are the core human needs, which help us to unlock our potential. This is that bridge which provides source of support to help people to reduce their stress, combat their depression, and enhance their intellectual stimulation. Now, I am a strong believer of human connections and its ability to change, to unlock your potential, because these both goes hand on hand. I, I read an article when someone asked Michelangelo about this statue. He beautifully replied, how did he make it? And then he replied, every block of stone has a statue in it. It's the task of the sculptor to discover it. And we all have that ability to discover masterpiece in us, and we can help us to others to unlock their potentials as well. Today, this xenophobic girl is a speaker and trainer at Leadership Lens who believes in the power of human connections and helping others to discover their potentials as well. I believe we need a lens to see ourselves and this world from a different perspective. Let's not see what they were and what they are. We need to see from the lens of possibilities what they can, what they will be. Tell people you love them. Talk to strangers who think that you're scared of. So many of us die. So many of us die like I did in my dream, and no one remembers out of our family. So love yourself, love others, unlock your potential, and touch as many lives as possible and leave a legacy on people's heart. Let's dream to change lives, to make this world a heartfelt place with pure human connections. Thank you. Over to you, Trisha.